Alright, so, man, there's so many faces out here, so many faces that I recognize. You guys should all be very proud to be in this room. 40 under 40 is a great accomplishment. So, a couple months ago, Nicole, some other people, asked me if I wanted to give the keynote speech at this event. My first question to her was, number one, what do you want me to talk about? And her response was, whatever the heck you want to talk about, as long as it's 20 minutes. I said, well, there's no way I can just speak for 20 minutes without having something prepared. So forgive me if I read off a lot of this stuff because there's no way I can just talk off the cuff for 20 minutes. What, not high enough up? You want me to stand up here? You can't see me? All right. Which mic is better? This mic? All right, so she said you can talk about whatever the heck you want as long as it's 20 minutes. So I thought to myself, if I'm being given free reign to talk about whatever I want amongst all these successful people, so I better make it good. I better try to figure out what all these talented people have in common. So it hit me. Everybody in this room is resourceful. So I'm going to talk about being resourceful today because you guys would not have been invited into this room if you were not resourceful. So, 40 under 40. By a show of hands, how many people in the crowd have kids? Okay, all right. Actually, that's a lot more people than I was expecting. And the rest of you guys were all kids at one point, so you can all relate to what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to be presumptuous and assume that most of you in this room had at least one parent that taught you how to be a good kid, right? You each had someone who taught you right from wrong, how to respect yourself, how to respect others, how to be a positive influence on the world. Did anyone have a parent along the way that specifically said to you that each lesson that you learned was so you could be a good parent? Did you guys hear this okay? Let's switch mics if we need to. We're going to get this thing hooked up. Is that better? So you each had someone that taught you right from wrong and how to be a positive influence on this world. But nobody specifically said to you that each lesson that you learned was so you could be a good parent, right? Because when you're 6 years old, when you're 12 years old, your parents are not specifically teaching you how to be a good adult or how to be a good parent. They're teaching you how to be a good kid. Then 20 years later, when you become a parent, you pretty much for the most part just figure it out, right? You figure out how to be a good parent. And some of you, you'll read books, you'll read magazines on how to be a good parent. Some of you will ask your friends, other family members how to be a good parent. Some of you will get insights from scary mommy posts on Facebook, right? The ones that are laughing, you guys know what I'm talking about. But most of all, you just figure it out on your own. And how do you figure it out on your own? It's because you're all resourceful. And somewhere along the way, when you're 6 years old or when you're 12 years old, you were taught something or you saw something that may not have played any role in your life at that time, but 20 years later, those earlier moments in your life when you learned basic life skills and maybe even advanced life skills, those have translated into what has made you a successful adult, a successful parent, and probably was one of the reasons that contributed to why you're in the room today. So, for me, being an entrepreneur was always part of my DNA. I was always creating some type of business. When I was 10 years old, I used to shovel snow for the neighbors. I would go up and down the block, knocking on doors, ringing doorbells, until somebody would let me shovel their driveway. When I was 12, I decided that I wanted to become a DJ, like him. I didn't know what that meant or how the heck I was going to do it, but I wasn't afraid to ask the questions on how to do it. So what I did was I went to the classified section of the Philadelphia Inquirer, the Jewish Exponent, and I saw all the companies that were advertising their parking services for sale. So I picked up the phone, I called about 15 of them, and finally somebody agreed to hire me to be a DJ. And I actually did that from the time I was 12 years old to the time I was 25 years old. And I actually think I may have DJ'd some of your bar mitzvahs and weddings and sweet 16s back in the 80s. When I was 17, I wanted to learn more about the radio industry. So I worked as an intern for Philly 103.9 radio station. You guys remember that station? Did it my entire junior year of high school. When I was 18, my college roommate and I decided to start our own DJ company. So we scrounged together about $3,000 and went out and bought DJ equipment. We spent the next 2 weeks calling all the social chairs and all the fraternities, all the sororities around there at Penn State to see if they needed a DJ for the next party. So our company was called Two Sharp DJs. I was DJ Oh No, that was my name. So, oh, you heard of me before? You heard of me. You heard of DJ Oh No. When I was 19, I thought I wanted to be an on-air personality on TV, so I figured out how to use my resources to get an internship at MTV. So if you remember, back in the 90s and early 2000s, MTV used to have a beach house. So I worked at the MTV Beach House one summer down in Key West, Florida. So I met some extremely talented and amazing people that summer. When I was 20, I figured out how to pick up girls. And that's when I met my wife. When I graduated college, I was 22 years old. I quickly recognized that real estate was where the opportunities were. So I leveraged my resources to get a job at a large national development firm. I learned the real estate industry pretty much from the development side first. That's sort of, I cut my teeth in the development aspect. And the knowledge I gained there, that's what would pay dividends later on in life. So when I was 23, I figured out how to get married. When I was 25, I figured out how to have kids. When I was 28, I figured out how to have 2 kids at a time. I had twins. Very efficient. And then many years after many years of knowledge gained from the development side, that's when I transitioned my career into the sales side of the real estate business. So I was 28 years old at that time. And that's when I recognized there was developers out there that wanted opportunities. The value that I could provide to them, just like many of you in this room, was finding them good deals. That will never go away. So I knew how to scout out good development opportunities. And for many, many years, I helped a lot of developers grow their businesses and build their businesses and make a ton of money. So when I was 29 years old, I decided that I was going to start doing this myself. So I started doing development, and then you know what happens. I got the bug, I got the development disease, and I loved it. Who's got the development bug, right? You can't stop. You're addicted to buying properties. That was me. So 29 years old, I started growing my company, Philly Living. I went to work every single day with a certain mindset. And my mindset was that I would go to work every day unemployed. And my job for the day was to get hired. Okay, that was the mindset that I went to work with every single day. So when I was 32, that's when I really started on my wealth building journey. So that's when I started investing into cash flowing assets, right? Rental properties that provide passive income to me. So a few years later, 35 years old, I opened up a brokerage, Keller Williams Philly. A lot of people in the room, thank you for being here. So I can provide opportunities for agents to be wildly successful so they can have their best work-life balance, they collaborate with one another, become better real estate agents, better business people, and better human beings. And after all that, finally people started to take notice. And when I was 38 years old, I got asked to give the keynote speech amongst the highly successful people, 40 under 40, or you guys. And after all that, somewhere along the way, then people started calling me an overnight success. You see, in order to be called an overnight success, you first have to put in years and years of hard work, commitment, so that you can be called an overnight success. I think sometimes we overestimate what we can accomplish in a year and underestimate what we can accomplish in 5 years. So you're never more than 5 years away from where you want to be in life. The knowledge that we all gain from our life experiences is what helps us shape us as business people, active members of society. And it's these experiences that allow us the confidence to make grounded decisions that may seem otherwise impulsive to others. It's what allows us to determine the path of our lives and our careers. Now, that's not to say that every single decision that we make will turn out to be a good one, right? It's okay to try things out that don't work. It's okay to fail. But fail fast, fail forward, and learn from your mistakes and the mistakes of others. Because the mistakes of others, those are a huge, huge resource to you. Learn from them. A lack of resources are never the problem. A lack of resources are not the problem, they're never the problem. It's a lack of resourcefulness that is the problem. So your success, the reason why you're in the room today, it comes from your ability to figure things out. Your failures have come from your inability to figure things out along the way. So your ability to execute and implement your visions, that's what's going to be the difference, and that's what's going to be the difference makers in your careers. Your ability to get from point A to point B, from vision to execution, that's what's going to separate you from the pack. So in real estate, that's going to be your ability to take action, even if it's not perfect, because imperfect action will be a perfect plan every single time. So in real estate, that comes in many different forms. That can come from recognizing a good investment opportunity and taking action to buy it. It can come from recognizing a talented person and figuring out how to get them into your world and into business with you. And for the real estate agents in the room, it can come from your ability to help your clients get to the finish line on their buying and selling journeys. And for the developers in the room, it can come from your ability to visualize something truly special from a vacant piece of ground, and your ability to put the pieces of the puzzle together, the financing, the money, the architecture, all the things that it takes, the approvals, all the things it takes to get the product, to get a product to the market that the market needs. Resourcefulness is the ultimate resource. And in order to be resourceful, you have to think differently than everybody else. Because today, success and winning does not come from beating the competition at the old game. It's about inventing a whole new game, defining a new market category, a new way of doing things, a new way of thinking, and then dominating it over time. You cannot build a legendary business without building a legendary category. And if you think that having the best product is all it takes to win, you're going to lose. So let's shift gears for a second. Let's talk about social media. Social media has become our best friend and it's become our worst enemy, right? Because most people and most companies are living in someone else's thinking. How many of you went on Facebook or Instagram or another social media platform today? Actually, how many of you have been on social media since I started giving my presentation? And when you read about how awesome somebody is or what else somebody's doing, did you think to yourself, I wish I was doing that, or that looks amazing, or I was jealous? Probably, if you didn't say it out loud, you're thinking it on the inside. So you have to stop comparing other people's outsides to your insides. You're being distracted by other people's goals. Each of you should be running your own individual race, playing your own individual game, so that collectively we can win this real estate race together. Don't gauge yourself on what others are doing, gauge yourself on what you are doing. And I know that's hard sometimes. So being resourceful is about understanding how to capitalize on your opportunities. Opportunities in your business, opportunities in your life, whether it's a good hire or an investment or a business opportunity or even a strategic partnership. Resourceful people recognize opportunities. And as real estate professionals, you all have the greatest opportunity in the world. You have the ability to build wealth. Who's building wealth in this room right now? That's awesome. That's really awesome. So my definition of wealth is having $1 more of passive income than you have in personal expenses. So your passive income can cover 100% of your personal expenses to fund your perfect life, your life by design. So your goal as real estate professionals should be to figure out how you can build wealth so you can work because you want to work and not because you have to work. So you can have freedom to make choices. So how many of you, if you stop working in your job, selling houses, building houses, etc., whatever you do for your job every day, how many of you would have enough money coming in on a monthly basis? Don't raise your hands. How many of you have enough money coming in on a monthly basis to cover all your personal living expenses? That's not, you don't have to raise your hands on this, but I want you to internalize this for a second. I want you to internalize this concept. Because if something were to happen to you, if you were to get fired or you just decided to stop doing what you're doing every day, how much passive income would you actually have coming in? So for some of you, the answer might be zero, right? And that's a pretty scary feeling. And for some of you, the answer might be not enough to cover all your personal expenses. So I want you to think about this for a second. If you had enough passive income to cover 100% of your personal expenses, Could you retire? You probably could, right? Would you travel more? Would you spend more time with your family and with your friends? Would you do all those things, all those cool things that you keep putting off and the things you keep talking about and telling yourself that you're going to do eventually? So I want you to internalize this concept for a second. So, are you living in your movie or are you living in someone else's movie? Are you living the life that you want? Are you doing business with the people that you want to be doing business with? The goal in business is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The goal in business is to do people who believe what you believe. And you can't trade your authenticity for the approval of other people. Your decisions, not your conditions, will determine your destiny, your success or your failures. So this is a group of very highly successful people, and I want to thank you. It's an honor to be in the room with you guys today. But I don't want you to let your successes go to your head, and I don't want you to let your failures go to your heart. Use your resourcefulness to take your career to the next level, to take your relationships to the next level, and most importantly, to take your life to the next level. So, before I go, I want to pass on a few words of wisdom that I've been given over the years. Write these down. Write these down. That's good. So number one, what you practice in private is what you'll be rewarded for in public. Number two, focus equals feeling. Focus equals direction. What you focus on is what you're going to feel. Focus shapes everything. Focus on the things you can control. Number three, if you're not where you want to be, it's because you are not who you need to be right now. Number four, leaders develop daily, but not in a day. It's a process. Leadership is a process. Number five, you don't automatically get better, but you automatically get older. All right. Number six, everything worth having is uphill. You can't have uphill hopes and downhill habits. Right? You have to have the right habits in order to have the right, achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Number seven, someone's opinion of you does not need to become your reality. Number eight, action may not always bring happiness, but there's no happiness without action. Number nine, success is a mathematical equation. It doesn't happen by accident. Number 10, this is a good one, I like this one. Number 10, no one's going to come to your house and make your dreams come true. You have to make it happen yourself. Number 11, are your goals equal to your potential? Right? Are you setting your goals high enough to what you're actually capable of doing? Number 12, our lives and our careers are determined by our acceptance or our rejection of our perceived limitations. What we feel like we can do, what we feel like we can't do. Number 13, you can't break the rules until you know how to play the game. And last but not least, always give 100% unless you're giving blood or getting a divorce. So I want to thank you guys again. Thank you for all your success. And congratulations on all your success and for many more years to come. Oh, don't come up yet. Don't come up yet. We have one more special guest before you get to come up. Is Tamara here? Come on up. You stay right there.
Stay right there.
Hey.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Noah. First, I want to thank everyone tonight for even coming out. It is such a blessing to see so many people, and believing in